Hey everyone, it's April 14th. I think it's tax day, or tomorrow's tax day, but I've been doing taxes for the last 3 days. Yeah, I left it to the last minute and I'm paying the price on the end of 3 long weekends. So it's about time to sit back, relax, and chill and have some fun with my Meteorite Bolide, my Knowledge Bolide crew. I've literally been so busy with the rocket weekend, my live sale last Saturday, and then this weekend I was in Tucson, that I literally have not developed or designed any presentation for tonight. So I know there's a bunch of people clapping and cheering. Yeah, no PowerPoint. So it's gonna be more of just a show and tell and discussion and chat day.
If you want, I have that PowerPoint ready on Mars moon Deimos.
Oh, awesome. You know, I'm so glad that that's Ben, correct?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so much for reminding me, because we have a tour of stop on a tour of the universe. And I totally forgot to check who it was and make sure they were on board. So we have Ben Fissler checking in with the report for our tour of the universe, and we have one guest video from Jens in, I believe, Belgium. He joined us a few weeks ago, and he sent us a video of him hunting the Mundrabilla strewn field in Australia. So that's a pretty cool something to look forward to. So I'm going to unspotlight myself, and anyone who wants to chat or say something, now's the time to open your mouth. We got James Shelton with his hand up. I'll definitely go to him real quick. Whoops. James, there you go. And what's going on, big guy?
Hi, guys. Last week we talked about Chelyabinsk and Sakota-Lean. And I forgot to show something about Chelyabinsk. This is a slice, and I have not seen many slices of that. If you catch the light right, you can actually see some metal in it. See if I can get it right. I need a new camera. Maybe somebody can tell me what camera I should get. But what surprised me about this, it is a LL5, but look at this.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh. It looks more like a melt than a normal breccia slice.
It does.
Do the Chelyabinsk have different lithologies?
Yeah. Yeah, there's melts which are just basically black or gray, but there it's kind of hard to tell. It looks like it's a melt, to be honest with you. Because normally you would expect to see some white stones in there.
These dark spots, when they sliced, you can see the metal now.
Yeah.
But when they sliced it, some of these little divots popped out. Those are not different lithology. That's just a piece where a piece popped out during the.
Well, that's a pretty interesting slice.
The melts have some vesicles in them as well. So yeah, I would definitely see that as a melt.
That's awesome. And that's a pretty big melt. That stone must have been pretty big to start out with.
I think this is the entire circumference of the piece.
Yeah, nice. You got the
seems to have a natural edge all the way around.
Yeah, looks like you got a center slice.
Yep.
Wow, that's awesome. Chelyabinsk melt in the house. Thanks, James. Appreciate that. Mr. Pat Brown with his hand up.
So I've got a couple here. Sorry, I'm kind of off guard here.
Our sound engineer just tore off his headphones.
Let's see me switch cameras here. So this one just arrived in the mail.
Pull your mic towards you. Thank you, sir.
So using the camera for something else.
Wow.
Interesting.
I So this one looks like a CV3, but I see no CAIs actually. But from that angle, it kind of does look like.
Yeah, yeah,
Some
it
of
does.
the white things down there look like maybe. Come on, camera focus. Well, those might be CAIs.
Oh yeah, definitely. From
Obviously.
5,000 miles away, definitely.
So this one hasn't spent much time under the microscope, just got unboxed.
Wow.
So that's a 280 some odd gram piece, and a lot of the carbonaceous CV3 types seem to weather pretty quickly and develop cracks and such. This one is pretty solid, so I think that one's going to be a good cutter. And then
it's going to have some really nice chondrules in there too. If unless the color was fake to us, it appeared as though some of the chondrules were tan as well.
Yes, there are definitely some brownish colored chondrules and some lighter colored chondrules as well. And the brownish colored chondrules are fairly typical for CV3s. So that one, I'll have to look at it a little more closely.
And they're even more common in CRs. When you see a high abundance of the tan chondrules and an obvious carbonaceous, my mind immediately goes to CR.
Yes. CRs also have considerably more metal, and this one has only a tiny bit of metal in it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but I definitely haven't figured it out yet. Got to hit the books again. The other day we were talking about slickensides, and as I was cleaning up, I came across this one.
Beautiful.
That whole surface there is slickensides.
Now we're looking for either the real technical name or our unofficial technical name. When you have a slickenside, that is a shear. Is it a planar shear or?
Yeah, it's a planar shear in that so this is if we cut it this way, we'd see it as a shock vein. But since the whole meteorite slipped and fractured, it's really a shock plane, and it's fairly flat, not perfectly flat. You can see there's a little bit of a cup to it, but you can definitely see that it slid off this way.
Yep.
With a little shelf there. And the other sides are fairly angular too, but with the reflected cross-polarized light, you can definitely see that there's a bunch of chondrules in there too.
Oh yeah.
This one will have a date with the saw here fairly soon.
Wow, there's some big chondrules down there.
Yes, there are some big ones. At least a couple, 3 big ones there.
Well, now one thing that we're obviously we're at an advantage right now with the cross-polarized reflected light, but we're at a disadvantage on the slickenside or the planar shear. That is going to be a lot more reflective surface than the majority of the rock.
Yes, and if you look here, in the really dark areas,
it's melt.
Yes, that's melt, and it's in particular it's gonna be glass. You know, when we see shock veins or shock planes, they're black, and the reason they're black is that they are they formed and then cooled so quickly they had no chance to crystallize, and so they're not birefringent, and so they don't get affected by the polarized light in the same way. And so you can't see through them. So they they kind of act like crust in that the reflected cross-polarized light doesn't allow you to see through it. But instead of really being true crust, they are a non-crystallized, quickly quenched glass.
That is so cool. Wow. That's a heck of a piece, man. What's the weight on that? That's like almost 2 kilos for maybe more.
Well, I'll drag it into the other room and put it on the scale, but I think it's a little over 1 kilo.
Nice.
And with that, I'll turn it back to you, Topher.
Sweetness. Well, I'm going to kick it right over to Ron. Hey, Ron Metchis, how are you?
Right.
It's in Texas.
Texas. I'm in California.
Oh, you're in California? Who am I thinking about in Texas?
Well, I live in the Texas tract. All the streets in our neighborhood are named after cities in Texas.
Oh.
I live in Waco,
stricken words.
Worth, and there's Alamo.
Oh. Sorry.
What I wanted to do real quick, I'm getting bad light here. I just wanted to revisit that Chelyabinsk just for 1 minute, because that melt really got me thinking. I just wanted to show, was it Ben was displaying that? About what a typical cross section would look like. And I just got a picture of
That was James.
Quick. Oh, James. Okay. So I'm going to share this screen. Can you see that?
No.
Oh, just a minute.
There
Can
we
you see
go.
that?
Yep.
There we go. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's the typical Chelyabinsk that you would typically find. With the granular structure. And I've shown this before. I just wanted to show this as compared to the melt.
Mhm.
I've never seen that kind of a melt before. That's really unique, at least for me.
Mm-hmm. Chelly is so photographic,
Oh, I know this is,
but extremely hard to take photos of fully crusted ones.
Yeah, well, let me go back a couple of pictures here. This is, I think you probably remember this one.
Yeah.
It's a full 82-gram piece that I stumbled across a couple of years ago.
Oh yeah.
That's a beauty. Yep.
Yeah, it's 83 grams. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to revisit for just a moment.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going to show a little something here. This is, since we're talking about Chellys and Chelly melts, this is, let me try to get better lighting. Okay, so this is my example of a regular, well, this one still shows impact and melt on it, but this one's nearly all melt. So I don't know if the lighting's the best in the world to see that, but I don't want to take these out because they are super, super thin.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, oh, there we go. That when you tilted it back, we could see the texture of the melt. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
oh yeah, you can see some metal in there.
Right. Yeah, and oftentimes in a melt, the metal will also remelt and will form into spheres like the Bencubenites.
Oh, that's cool. When I was in Mark Lyon's room this past weekend in Tucson, he had some Bencubinite and some Gujba. And then off to the side of the Gujba, he had a little container of just Gujba pieces of metal that fell off. Perfectly round little Gujba things. And I so totally wanted to like grab like 3 or 4 of them, throw them on a scale and say, how much are those? So I think I actually might hit him up after this, because I think it'd be absolutely cool just for people who don't have Gujba, just to have a Gujba. I think that's a singular. Let's go to Mike Kelly.
Hey, how's everyone doing?
Fantastic,
I got a
man.
couple things hopefully people find interesting. This is kind of a cool one. I don't know. I'm guessing a lot of people read the Meteorite Times. I kind of forgot to look at the month, and I went back and saw this piece in there, NWA 10674. And what I was really impressed with was the article said the Eucrite with chondrites in it. So that doesn't really make sense, right?
Yeah,
No.
because
So-
all Eucrites are achondrites.
Right. So this particular Eucrite, which is a polymict breccia, one of the brecciated clasts in there are actually, it's up to 26 or 25 or 26% by volume of H6 xenolithic material inside of there. So you have a lot of impactor, you know, that basically, you know, contaminated what you're tracking as an achondrite. And the other thing in there is also up to 2% of CM-like material in there. So all the dark material in here, and hopefully you can see kind of the amount of kind of metal in there too, for it being like an H6. It was very, very interesting material. I wish I had a thin section of it, but you know, this is what I procured, and this was actually Cameron. The other half, this was twice as big. The other half of that is on its way to Cameron right now.
Nice.
Cool.
If you look near the top of that piece, the white clasts and area up there are definitely eucritic. And yeah, and you really just see the shift, and then all the way. That is crazy to have an H6 impactor in a Eucrite. So when they're actually being able to tell that it's a polymict breccia, and then they were able to class one of the breccia types in there. That's really wild.
Yeah. And I was happy with my saw work on that. I got within a 100th of a gram on separating it in half. So Cameron 100% got his fair share.
Nice.
Yeah, he is the Jedi master of splitting things in half. I have the pictures to prove it.
That's awesome.
Continuing with sharing with Cameron and splitting things, being that I subtype and I'm looking for all the different types of lunar. This is a piece from Matt Stream, and this is that new lunar feldspathic melt breccia that he got. So that's a
Nice.
1 of 3 classification.
Yeah.
And being a small guy, this is currently my largest lunar by gram count, at a little over a gram. And again, got within a 100th of a gram on splitting it with Cameron.
Wow, that is great. Now, what is the classification on that one more time? Because it's 1 of 3.
1 of 3. It's lunar feldspathic melt rock or melt breccia.
Congratulations.
Wow, that's awesome.
Beautiful.
And we're really happy for Matt too. Matt Stream of Streaming Meteorites for that classification. That's a nice one.
Yeah, that was a really cool class. When I saw it was 1 of 3, I definitely had to get a piece of that.
That's a huge lunar for micro, man.
Yep.
Awesome. Was that what you wanted to? Yeah, more.
I had 2 more. So
good. Go for it.
We talked. These 2 are both impactites, and what I found was interesting about these 2 these are actually from bits of core sample. So on this one, you can actually see the curved surface there. That's part of the exterior drill core going along the side. And this one's actually from like 600 meters down. So I mean, they were doing some hefty drilling to get down there.
Wow.
So the larger one is Popigai crater. And what's kind of interesting about this impactite is theoretically
that's in Kazakhstan, isn't it?
It's in Ukraine.
Ukraine, okay.
I believe that one is in Ukraine. Yeah. I'll have to check that. I'll put it in the chat just to make sure, because there was 3 Ukrainian ones and 1 Russian one. So, but Popigai is theoretically the world's largest, I guess, diamond mine, although it's, you know, diffuse. So when the impactor hit, it transformed all of the native carbon in the ground into tiny little microscopic diamonds. And they think density-wise that's where the world's most diamonds are, and they're all impact made.
That's
you
wild.
know, but it's not really, I guess, economically viable to go after them. So that was everything I had to share. Just thought that was interesting. You don't see too many impactites that were drill cores.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Have you worked out the circumference of the drill?
I have not. I have not.
That's your math homework for the next week.
Yeah.
Hey Oz, good to see you join us, man. We got Cameron with his hand up. This is awesome. We go for it, bud.
Well, first of all, I have to thank Mike Kelly for all of his awesome procurement of the amazing things he has sent my way. Let's see, I need to do this. Let's see. So I got a big package from Topher.
Ooh.
I got a piece of Space Shuttle from the SRB self-destruct bridge wire.
I still got plenty more of them.
Let's see if I can get this to focus. This is, I had to have the crust. It was nice. This is the Gourara 003, of
Wow.
which, as I understand, Topher is the main mass holder.
And
I
that
don't wanna
is
touch
the
it.
and that is the best crust to anything else ratio of any piece ever off that rock.
So,
Wow.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
Yep.
so that has, officially disappeared off the market. Sorry, everyone. My case is one way. Anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so you've seen this before. I got a little crusty fragment of park forest.
Mm-hmm.
So now, to go with that, Topher hooked me up with
Glass.
some windshield glass.
Cool.
Plymouth.
So
That goes
let's
easy.
see. I got a little bit of NWA 2400, which, as I understand, is paired with NWA 011.
The unobtainium. Yeah, you can't get NWA 011. There was like a scant amount of grams, and that was back, when we were cool in 1999 or something, or 2000. So yeah, we have to settle for NWA 2400 now.
And theoretically, if the Tennerites become a real group, that is one of the pieces that's projected to become one of the members of it.
Yep.
I got this little piece of Errachidia 004, cut from Topher's, what do we decide? Medium metal?
Yeah, it's a medium metal rock, but in the Met Bowl, it's recorded as a high metal. I own a 61 gram low metal and a 61 gram high metal. We cut into the high metal and found out it's mid metal.
So, I mean, I'm happy with how much metal it had. So, yeah. And I got a piece with a little bit of crust on it. I was happy.
Yep.
Let's see. And of course, I don't know if you've been keeping up. This is 11 grams, 11.08 grams. I hope I can pronounce this correctly. Barnstable.
Yeah. There you go. Barnstable.
That is, wow.
And this happens to be the April installment of the Meteorite of the Month.
That is crazy.
Very cool.
My God, the Meteorite of the Month Club is unbelievable.
Yep.
Wow, and look at those chondrites in there. That's a nice slice, dude.
Under the microscope, that is beautiful.
Wow.
It's actually raised in 3D. I'm trying to get a picture of it to post, but I'm not going to take a poor picture and post it. I got to be a perfectionist.
Awesome.
Totally understandable.
That is so cool, man. I'm glad that more people are getting a chance to own Barnstable now. But it's Barnstable if you look it up. Well, there it's written on the screen. But awesome, Cameron, that was amazing show and tell. You have more for us?
Nope, that was it. Thanks.
I was gonna say, as soon as you turn your camera off, I take that as a hint to move on. All right. Does anyone else have something to share with us? I'll tell you what. Let me hit. Yeah.
Yeah, I know everybody's seen iron meteorites, but I'd like to show my largest Campo.
We want to see that.
All right, there you go.
Mr. Harold White, the largest Campo.
Oh,
Jeez.
oh my God.
Are you?
Get that camera just right. There we go.
How big is that?
It's 3,185 grams.
2 kilograms. Okay.
Oh, that is beautiful.
I can move away from it a little bit. Maybe it'll clear up somewhat.
Wow,
So,
right in
how-
nice.
Was
Got
it
a lot
that?
of ridges and edges on it.
Was it that clean when you got it?
Yeah, it was that clean when I got it.
Wow.
I got it from a gym show up in Macomb, Illinois in 2005.
Wow.
And there's no side of it that doesn't have regmaglyphs.
That is crazy beautiful, man.
Absolutely.
So
I'd call that a keeper.
Yeah.
that's a keeper, all right.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah, I was very happy to get that one.
And it's remained unchanged for 15 years.
Yeah, it really has. It's got a little rust in showing, but it's not excessive.
Yeah.
So,
wow. That is fantastic, Harold.
And so I can see what the inside of a Campo looks like. I've got this piece of slice.
Mm-hmm.
See if I can get the light on it just right.
And Campo is a 1AB main group.
1AB main group.
There we go.
Is that a hexahedrite?
No.
No. Octahedrite.
Thank you. Didn't think of it. That's beautiful.
Yes.
So anyway.
Thank you so much, Harold. Yeah. Wow. That's beautiful.
And we'll catch you later.
Yeah. I have my, this is my Campo right here.
That's a nice large one.
It's like 7.5 kilos or something.
Yeah.
The shark fin. Yeah.
Yeah. I absolutely love the fact that just the shape of it, it's self-standing, but that's a hunk of metal to fall out of the sky. You know what I mean?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I couldn't even imagine this thing coming down and smacking someone or something. Or just
through your roof.
Oh, I have it turned backwards. I've never displayed it that way before. So here, let me get out of the way. Look at it. Well, I'm going to hit pause for 1 second because we have a video to share. All right, we are checking in right now with our buddy Jens from, I believe he is from Belgium. Unfortunately, though, he sent me this video 5 minutes before the Hangout started, so I haven't been able to validate that information. But I believe this is his hunt of the Mundrabilla strewn field.
Hi, it's Jens from Germany. I hope you have a great hangout, and I want to show you some pictures from the Mundrabilla strewn field and some meteorite that I found. That's a typical Nullarbor landscape. You see there are literally no trees on the gigantic limestone plateau, and that's make it ideal for hunting for meteorites. On the road from Adelaide to Noseman, there are some roadhouses where you can pick up food and fuel for your car, and one of them is Mundrabilla. From the highway A1 you can drive through the outback in direction north, and you will see literally no trees, but if you are lucky you can spot some camels and some giant eagles that's try to survive in this harsh environmental. If I'm talking about Australia, one common question is how many dangerous animals did you see? And I can say not a lot, because they are very shy, and on this photo it's a stumptail ledger. It's a very small creature, and they are very shy, so they start running if a human comes across. To reach this tree field, you will have to drive to the north from the highway, as you see on the picture, and you will reach the train line. And if you reach the train line, you are in the middle of this true field. And there are some stops, especially Mundrabilla and Longarna. We arrived in the area late in the evening and decide to camp overnight close to the railway. In the morning we start exploring the area and drove some kilometers into the true field and found the memorial site for the discovery from the Mundrabilla 1 and 2. Shortly after the historic site, we started searching in the middle of this true field, and that on the photo is our first find. It's a 36.5 gram Mundrabilla iron meteorite, and I was overwhelmed. It was my first meteorite found ever, and it was unbelievable.
Congratulations,
You can
that's
spend
cool.
hours with searching with metal detectors and find nothing, or you are lucky and stumble one across, and you can only pick up from the ground and you have a meteorite. I have to correct myself from the last time I shown this piece. It sounds like I have done the cutting by myself, but that's is not correct. I sent off a piece with 110 gram to Mirko Grauer from Germany. He's a well-respected and well-known meteorite dealer. He is specialized in iron meteorites, and I'm quite sure he is a member of your Facebook group. And he done the cutting and the edging, and as you can see, it's very, very pretty one.
And Mirko is also well known for his thin sections.
Thin sections, yes.
He does some fantastic thin sections of fantastic material.
Yes.
Sorry, Jens. Back to you.
Some pieces lying directly on the ground, and they have a very beautiful black patina with some little spots of reddish rust on it.
Oh my, I want that.
But most of them are buried in the ground, and that's a mixture of sand and limestone. And if you use a metal detector, you can find them, and most of them are very nice, pretty sculpture pieces, like the one I'm showing here. And if you are lucky enough, you can find quite big pieces like this one with 218 grams.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's it. We spent roughly 4 days in this tree field and found over 200 pieces.
Oh my
So
God.
I'm quite sure if you have the opportunity to travel to Australia after COVID and visit this tree field with your metal detector, you have a great chance to find some very beautiful iron meteorites in the Mundrabilla tree field. I wish you a great week and see you next week. Bye.
That's awesome.
Hi, it's Jens from...
Is the video lagging for you guys?
Yeah, the sound and
Not a lot.
we're offset just a bit. This is the 212-ish gram one here.
Oh, because the video is already over on my desktop.
Yeah, we're still seeing the
we're still seeing
it.
212-ish gram one
Like
that's
stop motion.
scooped out on one side.
I don't know why it's playing so slow.
It's beautiful. It's a basin.
Yeah,
The scope is very nice.
Yeah, the
Let me see if
Mundrabilla meteorite is an odd one in that it has lots of pockets of silicates.
If you are lucky enough, you can find quite big pieces like this one with 218 grams.
Beautiful.
There,
We spent roughly 4 days in this tree field and found over 200 pieces. So I'm quite sure if you have the opportunity to travel to Australia after COVID and visit this tree field with your metal detector, you have a great chance to find some very beautiful iron.
That is awesome. I'm sorry that we had technical difficulties on that, but I am just absolutely blown away that he was there for 4 days.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
200
4 days,
pieces.
200 pieces.
Yeah, I'm going.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think I know where we're having our next hangout, guys.
Coach,
You can start your own business after that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Man.
the Meteoritical Society meeting for 2023 is in Perth, Australia, and it's only a few hundred kilometers from Perth to the Nullarbor. So I was already scheming on that idea, but after seeing the map and hearing about that success, yeah.
Even
Good
more
for
now.
you.
Huh? Well, I wanna show off a few items that I got in Tucson recently, and then I want to give Ben a chance to give us our stop on the tour of the universe. There is one item that I want to show off because the owner is in the room, and I know he would like to see it. And this is one you guys talked about earlier. So this is the famous, or soon to be famous, super oriented NWA iron, weighing 155 grams. And it has an impactor on it.
wow.
Oh, that's
Nice.
So not only is it completely oriented,
Gee. Where'd you find that?
Mark Lyon had it. He was holding it for someone else, so I bought it. So yeah, it has this great. Let me see if my phone will let me zoom. Oh, there it is. Look at that.
nice.
But you haven't even seen the sexiest part of this.
Oh my.
That's stunning.
Wow.
Very different
Beautiful.
texture on the back
Wow.
and the rollover lip all the way around. Yeah.
A dang near complete rollover lip.
Nature doesn't make too many like that.
Yeah. Look
Where,
at
where was that found?
that. NWA is all I know.
Okay, the Morocco one.
I'm not sure if it's Morocco, Algeria, Mauritania, Mali.
Beautiful crust.
Gee.
Yeah.
Got a great patina on it. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so the
Amazing.
proud owner is in this room right now. But I felt really bad because, and you know, it's a risk that we all take, and he knew the risk when we did it. But we bought a lot, whatever was on hand in quartzite of some unclassified Moroccan iron that turned out not to be meteoritic.
Yeah.
So my client did the testing. He's a PhD geochemist, so I trust his results. And he definitely said that it did not have iron, did not have nickel in it. So I went ahead and refunded his purchase of that, but I felt bad that we went through all the time and effort for some terrestrial material. And he told me when I was going to Tucson, he goes, "Hey, I'm still a gambler. You find some unclassified iron, think of me first." Well, think of me. And in my head, I said, I'm thinking you first. So as soon as I got my hands on this, I was like, there's two people. Marco appreciates oriented pieces, but I haven't really seen any irons. And then I remembered I owed a favor to a friend. So that one is not for sale, already sold. It was sold before I bought it. Now I have a beautiful rock that I bought myself. This is for my personal collection. This is Ha 346, better known as Deimos. The official name is Ha 346. This is an oriented and I believe fluted with impact breaks and impact scuffs. Yeah, this is the piece de resistance. I really was hoping it came in at over a kilo, but it stopped at 952.
You have to throw it back.
So here we go.
Yeah, let it grow.
All right, so here is my Deimos.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, that's absolutely fluted. Those are
Whoa.
aligned regmaglyphs.
Very
See if-
fresh.
Let me see if I can get that phone better. There we go. Okay, so yeah, totally fluted. Absolute. Now here's the coolest part. This is obviously the downside where it hit the ground like this. It was traveling like this. So
Mhm.
you're looking at the backside here, but look at the non-backside. It has iridescent crust on it.
mm,
oh,
Ooh, nice.
And shallow regmaglyphs on the backside as well.
mm.
Yeah, that's a beautiful piece. You probably don't want to handle that one too awful much.
Yeah, this is the one that I have been keeping secret. Mike Kelly wanted to see it, and a few other people were asking me because I was like, I made the purchase of the show. This one, to me, has everything. The backside is even dark and regmaglyphed, and you have a exposed crunch. Really nice crust all the way around. But for me, the money is, look at this. You can see how it impacted the ground.
Yep.
And there's the sexy view. Let me see if I can, whoops. There we go. Yeah. So that is I'm still going to call it Deimos. Look, yeah. I was hoping it was as oriented as I thought it was when I pulled it out of the box, but I literally got first pickings of, it was actually Jason Utas and I. The boxes, the 2 cases of these just arrived at another dealer, and we made the agreement that we would unpack them all if we got to pick first. And this is what I got. So I'm super, super happy, super proud.
Absolutely. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you
is
very much.
that is beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is, yeah. So I can do an actual screenshot right now. I can go.
Classic.
Yeah, I absolutely love the fact you could tell it was just riffling through. You have the flat bottom over here. It probably actually was oriented like this coming in because you have the flat side here, and this is where it's scuffed and hit into the ground on the bottom. So yeah, Pat, you're exactly correct. I will not be touching, holding, fondling, licking that one too much. All right, give me 1 second. Gonna hit pause.
Oh, no problem. Just be gentle on me, guys, because I'm not used to doing PowerPoints. Just being a boomer.
We have that's Ben Fissler. He's a very respected meteorite hunter in Arizona Falls. He's been around since dirt was invented. But he actually remembered that he volunteered for our tour of the universe stop today. So Ben, I really, really appreciate you remembering and showing up and having material ready. Over to you, buddy.
Okay. All right. So I've got some images and a little bit of data. I'm going to try and keep it light with the exception of the creation process of the moons. And we'll see if we can do that. And then at the end, we can do questions and answers. If it's something I can answer, go ahead and ask me during. I'm fine. So what you see there, of course, on their starting image is both moons of Mars, Phobos and Deimos. The one that's on the left is, of course, Deimos, and it's got more of a kidney shape, and Phobos is much, much larger, and it's got that potato shape. And we'll cruise on over to a few other images here. But in the meantime, just remember this was named after a couple of Roman gods, Phobos, which was the god of fear, and Deimos, the god of dread. And see, does anybody here know who discovered the two moons?
Herschel, I can't think of his last name. The planetarium in Flagstaff is named for him.
No. It was named after, it was discovered by Asaph Hall in 1877.
Oh.
And he found Deimos first, and then 6 days later he found Phobos. He was going to give up, and his wife nagged him until he went back and started looking again. True story. Here's two images put side by side so you can get a better look at Phobos on the left and Deimos on the right. And if you notice, the craters and gouges on Phobos are much deeper. And then you look over at Deimos and they're smoothed. The reason for that is Deimos has all this regolith material that is dropped onto it and filled in the craters pretty much.
That's interesting.
And let's see, go to another image here. There's another good one of all of them. And of course, to help you tell the two apart, if you have any problems, is Phobos is closer to Mars, Deimos is farther away quite a bit. Phobos is larger, Deimos is smaller. Phobos is rounded with deep craters, ruts, and gouges. And Deimos is, of course, that smooth yet angular surface. Let's see, let's push on to another image. There we go. If you take a look at Phobos again, look how sharp that is, and that giant crater on there, where Deimos is pretty much smooth compared to, and its largest crater is like 3 kilometers, which is, if I remember correctly, it's named Voltaire, some French guy that I'm sure you've all heard of. And let's see. Oh yeah, the orbital distances, and you'll have to pardon me, the stats varied from website to website on distances and all that other nonsense. So don't hold me to this, but the orbital distance on Deimos was 23,000 plus kilometers. Phobos was 9,000 plus kilometers. And the orbital period, of course, is for Phobos is only 7.5 hours roughly. Deimos is a little more than 30 hours. So we'll go to another image. There you go. There's a nice little representation of the orbital distances. And then we'll go to another view here. There we go.
Deimos is 4 times as far.
Looking back on Mars, but this is not a photo. It's some artist's representation. Why? Because there has yet to be a probe of the actual moons. So the closest photos, which we'll get to in a minute here, are only from about 30,000 clicks. Let's see. One more here. There we go. Now we get into conflicting theories. Prior, everybody was going to tell you that, oh, yeah, the moons are not from Mars. They were asteroids or were kicked out of the asteroid belt by agitation from Jupiter's gravity, and then were captured by the gravity of Mars. everybody's peeing on that theory right now. Yeah, and even the guys at ASU are going with a much more logical theory, which involves rings following an impact. Let's see. Here we go. This illustration helps you out a little. So first I want to get into a French astronomer named Edouard Roche. And he's the one who calculated the gravitational limit for planets. So after the collision, the debris forms a ring near the Roche limit, and that's the distance where any bodies would be torn apart by that planet's gravity. So from there, the debris spreads, and the majority of it spreads back towards Mars, falling to the planet's surface. Approximately 80% of that ring's initial mass ends up back on the planet, but some of it will spread out well beyond that Roche limit, at which point it can start condensing into moons, and then several moons would form, with the largest being the farthest from Mars. And then time and gravitational interactions would gradually pull all those moons back towards Mars. And this happens because the moon's orbit is a lot faster than Mars rotates. So the tidal interactions constantly slow them down. The larger the moon would swallow up the smaller ones on its way back in, and eventually it too will reach that Roche limit again. At this point, it would be torn apart by Mars gravity, form a new ring, and from there the cycle would be repeated. Each cycle reduces the amount of material, and in the ring, more of it gets deposited back on Mars, producing fewer and smaller moons. And they calculate right now that they've already gone through 6 cycles of this impact, from the initial impact, making ring moon cycles. And so they can calculate that Phobos has about 70 million more years before it too is destroyed by Mars gravity, creates a whole new ring, and the cycle starts over again. And then they also calculate that the existing cycle's been going for 2.5 billion years.
That's mad. That's super interesting stuff.
Let's see, hang on a second. Let me change image. There we go. There's another side by side. Again, you see how rough the exterior of Phobos is, but Deimos is all smoothed out, angular, kidney shaped, etc. For stats, you know, it's got pretty light surface gravity. What's something we can relate to here is that the escape velocity for Deimos is only 5.3 kilometers per second, and you compare that to Earth's, which is like 11 kilometers per second. Neither of the 2 moons have an atmosphere. And another thing that lends credence to the theory of being created by impacts and rings was the orbit of Deimos is a circular orbit. It's not elliptical. And let's see, oh yeah, being that it's real kidney shape, dimension wise, it's like 15 kilometers by 12.2 kilometers by 11 kilometers. So it's kind of funky. Let's see, new image here. This is one of the images taken Viking 2, I believe, back in 1976. And that orbiter lasted on batteries for like another 2 years till 1978. And of course, the lander went to the surface of the planet Mars. So far, nobody has put a probe yet on either of Mars' moons. NASA intended to do that back in 1997, 1998, and they planned a mission to go to both moons. And they called it Aladdin, but then they scrapped it and sent a probe instead to Mercury. They are talking about a sample collection mission and calling it Gulliver. Haven't heard anything about them actually doing it. They are talking about a definite planned manned mission in the 2030s to go to the moons, not to Mars. Let's see, let me grab a new image there. There we go. Just some different views you can check out. Looks like some of the meteorites I found.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There's a kind of a side view. Again, compared to Phobos, this is one smooth pebble. Look at all the smoothness on the craters. They've all been filled in largely by that regolith material. It's a good view of the kidney shape. Let's see, it's a more extreme view.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, it all depends on what angle you're looking at it. Everybody's got, just like the theories on how the moons were formed, they have different views on the composition. So, you know, if you're one of those crustaceans that believes that they were formed by, you know, asteroid being captured, then they think that the composition of Deimos would be like a type C or D asteroid. If you use the correct theory, which is the impact ring theory, then it's going to be material from Mars itself and whatever item impacted it. And until they get a probe there, we'll never really know. But the ring impact theory tends to solve all the problems. So, let's see, new picture. It's a good one. That's a nice crisp one. They are, see, oh yeah, that manned mission that they're planning, the reason they're planning to go to Deimos first and not the planet is because, one, the gravity is less, but more importantly, they can use Apollo program landing technology, which they already have down to a T, and it's cheap and effective. So they would do that. Plus then they could, to avoid the solar radiation, they can place it in a better position, any kind of a lander than they would on the surface of Mars. They can also keep it in the view of the sun for like at least 10 months. So that everything doesn't freeze. And those best windows for facing Earth and it facing us facing it, et cetera, that's all 2033 and 2035. So the mission would start on 33 and finish on 35, ideally, everything going smoothly. And this is the closest I could find. This was taken from about 30,000 kilometers. And again, see how smooth those craters are. They are not very deep. They're all filled in.
Filled in, yeah.
Well, and they're telling me, at least in what I read, that that layer of regolith that's filling it is 50 meters thick. That's like 160 feet deep.
Man.
Dust.
Let's see. Another image. Oh. And the reason I threw this image in is because I did find something humorous about Deimos. There was a hoax perpetrated in 1959. This guy named Walter Scott Houston, he played an April Fool's joke by claiming in a newspaper called the Great Plains Observer that, quote, Dr. Arthur Hyall of the University of the Sierras reports that the moons of Mars are actually artificial satellites. So he making up, you know, Dr. Hyall and the university, that's all fiction. He just pulled that out of his, you know what, but you know, if you knew about the competitive nature of the space race between the Soviet Union at that time and the United States, they of course had to try and outdo us on everything and vice versa. So when he put out this phony story, a Soviet scientist named Yosef Sklavovsky suggested that Phobos was a hollow metal shell. But of course, the method that he used to determine that density was faulty, and he was later like shamed. Oh, let's see. Let me get a new image here. Sorry. Here we go. And this is the last image. So I don't want to go too far with these images. Those are just two more views, but they were colorized, so I thought I'd grab them. Again, the angular or kidney shape, smoothness of the craters. And that's basically all I have without getting into any deep technical jargon. So I'm opening it up to any questions if there are any.
Well, I just think it's interesting that when you look at Deimos right there, it looks so smooth that if it were an asteroid captured, I would imagine it would be an iron. You know what I mean? But they're actually able to do the testing enough to see that it's more carbonaceous material.
Well, and the density studies tell you that's how they know how deep that regolith layer is on top.
Mm-hmm.
That's a dead giveaway too.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Well, hey, Ben, thank you very much for taking us on a tour of Deimos. We definitely appreciate your information and the pictures you share with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm going to close this out and then rejoin you in my tablet so I can actually pass photos.
Okay. We're actually going to hit pause for 1 second. All right, we're looking at a El Sampao iron with a really, really awesome inclusion in it. And Mike Kelly, our resident chemist, is going to tell us a little bit about what we're looking at and why it's not like a solid trollite inclusion or something. Mike, you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. Troilite's one of the end members of pyrite. So there are other minerals that are probably in there. So it's an iron deficient. You probably have like an iron sulfide side to it, which is the troilite, and the iron deficient side of the sulfide, which is the pyrite, I would guess. It's hard to tell really without getting it under a scope. But that would be my thinking on why you have kind of two different looks to the same inclusion. It's actually two different mineral compositions, as far as one being troilite and the other half not being. Other things mixed in with troilite too. You can get troilite, you can get graphite kind of mixed together too. And so kind of trying to look at that and see some of the darker spots in there. You could potentially have some graphite in there too, mixed in with the inclusion.
Cool.
Thank you.
It is completely non-magnetic.
Yeah, so yeah, the troilite's going to be non-magnetic. Sorry, because it's bound. So I don't think you'll get a pull to that, I believe.
Okay. Thank you.
Well, when I put the magnet here, it
Huh.
it barely, like, it doesn't want to attach there. It attaches there and all the way down here.
Right.
Yeah, so you probably got maybe graphite in the middle there.
So this is my slice of, oh God, I think this is St. Alban. Yeah, but it was I enjoy it because of this inclusion, and it goes all the way to the other side as well.
Every one of them is gorgeous to me.
Yeah. Yeah. So awesome. I think
And
I think we have Pat Brown with something to show off if you're ready.
I am. So this was a good week for meteorites. Got this in the mail too, and it was focusing great a second ago. No, that's not too bad. So this is NWA 13909 provisional. It's not hasn't been published in the Met Bowl yet, unless it happened today.
Cool.
It is an L 3.15. So it's a very primitive meteorite, and it's pretty much just chondrules with a tiny bit of matrix between the chondrules and just a sprinkling of metal.
Jeez, man.
Nice.
Pretty much.
I have a slice of that coming myself.
Do you? Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
The pieces sold like hotcakes when they were available. They did a teaser on us.
Who's the main mass holder on that?
Shun and Matthew Stream.
Nice.
Did that one. And
Two of our
then
friends.
I got a package from Chile. Turns out that FedEx has trouble, or not FedEx, UPS has trouble getting stuff from Arizona to California, but they can ship a package from Chile to California in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
And so this one was found in the Atacama, and it's not wanting to focus very well, but it looks like it is probably an H3. It's got some beautiful little chondrules in it, and I purchased it from the finder. It was found in the Atacama.
That's cool.
And I have the in situ photo and the GPS coordinates of the thing.
That is fantastic. That completes it. That's awesome. Wow.
So I think I will go for classification on that one at some point here. So here's the meteorite I showed earlier with the big slickenside. And I carried it next door, put it on the scale. So I now know the weight to 1/10 of a gram. So we're going to have, we haven't done this for a while. Have a guess your weight and win some crap.
And, yeah, and the crap you win is just this.
Yeah, right. It's bragging rights until next week.
Yeah, you get a Met clap.
So, what is the mass?
Wow.
So with 1 inch and 1 centimeter scale cubes there.
Could I ask you as an old feeble man to please pick that up one time for us?
Yes.
He picks that up so easily. Either he's younger than I think. Okay.
Well, I'm used to picking up this one. So definitely easier to pick up than that one.
Okay, so one more time, and then we'll throw our guesses in the chat. All right, I have my guess, and Oh, wow. Sam Lopez and I are within 50 grams of each other, and I just looked. That's awesome. All right, so that's the guess your weight. Everyone take a last few glances at it. We're going to go to Marissa in a second. In 3, 2, I lied. Hey, Marissa, how you doing?
Hey guys, you can hear me okay?
Absolutely.
Awesome, great. I just figured I would show my buzzard cooey slice that I was getting before everybody got buzzard cooey crazy recently, and it's like everybody's getting individuals now, and I'm like, where was that when I was trying to get one?
Yeah.
But this is the slice I got.
Beautiful.
It's got fresh crust on the out. Look at how crunchy it is.
Mm-hmm.
How beautiful the chondrules are.
Yeah, it's completely crusted, and it's just freaking gorgeous.
There you have it.
All the metal.
Yep.
Wow.
Very nice.
Buzzard Coulis is such a beautiful stone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was pretty happy to get that. It's a 3.8 gram slice.
Wow, they cut it thin.
Yeah, it's extremely thin.
Jeez.
I can turn it and show the.
Oh, look at that. That's in
Yeah.
perfect focus. Oh my God.
Wow. Yes. Oh, beautiful.
Wow. That is beautiful. I hope you have a nice protective case for that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That'd be a shame to have it break. Ooh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that would be a damn shame. I would cry.
There's not enough super glue in this world. Yeah.
No, not at all.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's all for me.
Awesome. Thank you, Marissa. Great for
Yep.
checking in with us.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
I have one thing. No, you know what? Chris Monk has joined us late because he just got off of work. I saw him pop up in the chat. Well, when I was in Tucson, hey Chris, by the way, when I was in Tucson, I was doing some personal shopping for some people, and Chris saw something and jumped on it, and now he gets to see it in even better vision. So this, well, obviously Chris knows what it is, but I'm not going to tell anyone else until it's guessed. First, we have to give all props out to the Comet Meteorite shop, Sergey. I spent the whole weekend with the guy. He's absolutely a great, funny guy. It's amazing how little English he speaks when you say PayPal. He speaks perfect English until you say PayPal. Then all of a sudden, no, I don't understand. Does anyone have a clue as to what we are looking at? Besides my finger. There we go. Let me get the light on it. I'll show you the little crusty side.
Oh, is that the Aguas Zarcas?
That is Aguas Zarcas. This is his brand new slice or fragment. It's 4.83 grams.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's got a really nice side of crust on it. And then I don't even want to touch it. Whoa, see?
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
There we go.
2 for 1 sale.
Welcome
You just
back.
squatted.
All right. Luckily, that was my phone, not the meteorite.
Wow.
So that is Chris's brand new hunk, and it is sizable enough to call a hunk of Aguas Zarcas. And I've been saying it wrong for a little while. I've been saying Aguas Zarcas, but there's an S on the end of it. Aguas. Aguas
Aguas
Zarcas.
Zarcas. Ah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, I think a few of us have either repeated it or just been saying it wrong, but it's not Aguas Zarcas, it's Aguas Zarcas.
Ooh.
Does
And
anyone
I can tell you, I'm super excited about that. I can't wait to hold it for myself.
I'm glad. It looks even better than my camera was doing justice right now. For some reason, it's better on YouTube to have widescreen, but my phone doesn't focus as well. So I'm not a big fan of the widescreen. But yeah, it's beautiful, dude. And that crust side is fresh looking. Does anyone know what this is?
Got the high metal Winnoite.
Nope. This is one of the best meteor wrongs you'll ever run across.
Oh,
Wrong.
Yes, this is a meteor wrong. This is
Swarovski?
Nope. No, that's the fake pallasite. This
Okay.
is the native iron from Russia, from the Plateau Putarana.
That's
So Plateau Putarama. And it was listed there as, let me see here. I did some research online and that's what I came up with, but this is how they were listing it. Native iron Kungung, but whatever, Mastiff, Russia, Siberia. Yeah, Kung Tung Kung.
That's easy for you to say.
Yeah, no, it's not, man. Throat hurts. Yeah, but I thought this was a great example, and I really only picked it up for someone else to get off of me because I don't collect this kind of stuff, but I thought there had to be someone in this group who does not have a piece of native iron like this, the most compelling terrestrial meteor wrong naturally occurring. Thought that was really cool. Do I have any hands up right now? I can't look at my screen. Nope. Okay. Well, let me show you. I'll continue. I want to show you two pieces of Brahin. And these I am nervous to hold because this is just shy of 11 grams.
Ooh.
Wow, that's thin. It's a wafer thin.
Yeah, it's only wafer thin, but it is gorgeous.
Wow, and
Comes that
all of
little
that
backlight.
That's
all
not
the
even.
olivine in the upper left.
Yeah.
There can't be much holding that together.
No. As you can see, there's cracks running throughout it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But look at that. So this is one of those that I put into a case and I don't touch.
Yep.
You put a little light behind it?
Don't touch the case either.
Yeah. You know, actually, this is available, but I have cases that I ship them in that they don't break, and then you can keep them in there and display them in there. But that's not even backlit. You know what I mean? That's just
right.
That's just seeing through it. So that one's 11 grams, and I got this one here, which you can tell was a little bit bigger. Wow, I don't even know how to hold this one. Okay, there we go. 7.38 grams.
Mm.
Look at how beautiful that is. I love Brahin. Let me see if I can zoom in.
Now you're selling those?
Well, they're available for sale, but yeah, I'm trying not to sell things during the hangout. But
okay,
yeah.
Okay.
But definitely contact me afterwards. I mean, this is all my new stuff I just purchased in Tucson, so everything's
Beautiful
available.
prep.
But this one, like, dude, that is ridiculous.
That's got to be 50% cutting loss because cutting irons is tougher than cutting stonies.
Look at that. Yeah.
That's a razor blade.
It's razor. But I have cases like this. So
remember
Yeah, whoops, so here we go. Yeah, so like hard membrane cases, and I actually have like 3 slices of this myself that I've had in membrane cases for over 2 years now, and they're 100% stable, exactly as they were when I put them in there. So do we have any other hands up? I can't see right now. Okay, well, I'm going to show off my personal slice of Zob. Zob is the Pakistani fall. This one is 89 grams or 79 grams.
Oh, that's nice.
Let me see if I can get my patent pending pointer. Yeah. So if you look up here, you'll see a line around this.
Yep.
And a bunch of metal up in this corner here, but this massive hunk right there. Then down in here, you have these striations or veining of metal. I haven't had a chance to examine it really close enough yet to know what I'm dealing with. But this is Zob, and I was actually able to hold what's left of the main mass when I was in Tucson, which was an experience.
That's a big slice.
Yeah, this was taken off the center of the stone, and it's a complete slice. There's crust all the way around it. Here's the opposite side. You don't have that big metal bleb, but you still have the same metal veining up in here. This is the unfinished side. Again, yeah, my camera does not like focusing that much in landscape or widescreen, but yeah, so this is my personal piece. In fact, let me do this real quick, see if that's any better. Oh well. So that's my personal slice of Zob, 79 grams. Yeah, super pumped, and I love the way it fits in the frame. Whoa. Love the way it fits in the frame because there's not much room left.
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty much takes up that box.
Yeah. Well, there is one slice that I had to almost do geometry to get it in the case. This one right here. Let me switch to my other camera because there, you'll be able to see with this one. Hold on, I'll spotlight it so you guys don't take me off. All right, so this one is a Eucrite.
Wow.
And as you can see, it fits side to side, corner to corner.
Yeah.
I had to rotate it and work it perfectly in order to get it to fit in there. But it is an absolute gorgeous Eucrite. So let me see here. Replace spotlight. Okay, so here's what it looks like up close.
Wow.
Yeah, there's not much room all the way around it. But
boy,
yeah,
whoever cut that was a master pro. That could have cracked so easily.
Yeah, that's a very melty Eucrite.
The original slice that I bought actually was cracked in shipping, and because it was my personal collection, I actually got another slice.
Wow.
If it was for resale, I would have just said, well, you know what? I have a slice for my personal collection, or I have more smaller pieces to sell. But no, it's for my personal collection, so I wanted to have a nice one. And I'll show you where I keep it, because you obviously saw how vesticular it was. So this is where I keep it.
Wow, nice.
Nice.
So I walk in my office and I see this backlit with the moon behind it. Yeah. And then don't forget the little Mars rover about to fall off.
There is supposed to be a, I don't know if it's Tootsie Toy or Matchbox. I think it's Matchbox. There's supposed to be a Perseverance rover in the Matchbox series, but I haven't found one yet. You can probably buy them for $75 on eBay, but I've been trying to find one in the store and haven't yet.
Yeah, I think they kind of went pretty quick.
Did they? Okay.
Pat, that is Hot Wheels. At least mine is Hot Wheels, and it was $45.
Oof. Well, at
So
least you got one though.
You're talking to a man who has one.
Are they planning to do one on Ingenuity?
I haven't heard.
I have looked everywhere for Ingenuity, and I think I'm going to have to build my own.
I just wish them good luck on their flight, their first flight. I hope they worked all the bugs out.
Yeah, that's coming up here shortly.
Yes, it is.
How shortly?
Well, they're debating about how quick they're going to go with it. They did some engineering tests, and they spun the rotors up a little bit, and I think they didn't see exactly what they expected, and so they're thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
Topher, I have the results of the Guess the Weight if you're ready.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
the thing. Oh, hold on a second. Let's zoom in on Chris Monk for a second.
Oh, there it is.
There we go. Super.
Cool.
It's not focusing very well because I don't have the lights on in here, but that's the Hot Wheels Perseverance. I have Curiosity too, which was just as expensive, but
but you gotta have it if you gotta have it, man.
I have to have something sitting next to my Martian.
Nice.
And compared to Martian meteorites, it's a bargain in the per gram price.
Yeah. So, yeah, I heard that the Opportunity or Ingenuity failed the high spin up test.
Right. Yeah.
I don't, some of the numbers didn't come back right, and they decided to power down. They were supposed to try again within the next 24 to 48 hours, and that was yesterday. So they might have actually tried something again. Or
I don't think so. I think the last I saw was they're actually going to do a software update, and they're working on the software.
Oh wow!
So, yeah, they're now talking. I think about a week from now.
They were concerned about some of the servo motors and things running on Perseverance that would interfere with the transmission signal to Ingenuity, that they had to power down some of Perseverance servo motors and whatnot. I don't know how much that has to do with it, but it would be an awful shame for all the work those people did, incredible work, to not have Ingenuity fly.
Yeah, I'm sure that you know, if they're thinking it can be, I mean, literally, it functioned. The communication, the instructions to spin up were given, were received. The helicopter reacted. It spun up. It was actually giving them good data. So everything was technically working, even though the data they got back caused them some concern. I think it's a good sign that we got that far. They're going to roll out a software update, which I just heard for the first time, and try it again. How many? I mean, that's beta testing 101, and that's what we learned about Ingenuity. Ingenuity, the 5 or whatever flights that they're trying to get done are beta testing for Titan and moving on to other things. So, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, and I'm also not a the walking on sunbeams kind of guy. I'm a realistic guy, and everything I saw, seemed to show that it works. It just needs a little bit of fixing. They weren't going to risk it. They can do a software update. Best to wait, especially as you guys said, after all that work has been put in.
Oh yeah.
Well, let's check in with Pat Brown and see who won today's or this week's closest to the weight.
Okay, so in third place, Bruce with the guess that was 172.1 grams low. In second place, Marissa with the guess that was 152.9 grams high. And in first place, Ron, who got within 17.1 grams.
Wow!
Wow.
I'm kidding.
The
Not
correct
bad.
weight is
Pat myself on the back.
1517.1.
1517.9.
0.1.
0.1. Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Wow. Congratulations, Ron.
Take that, Neil Armstrong.
I was sitting in the 1800s, and one of my thing is like I'm pretty honest. When I go into the chat, I don't look at anyone else's. I have my number in my head. I put it in there. I looked up, and I'm like within 50 grams of someone else. I'm like, all right, I'm feeling pretty confident. Yeah, we're both losers.
Usually I'm a factor of 2 off or something like that. That's amazing. I got that.
Yeah. And when you're ready for your prize, let us know.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, please.
I have an item that I'd like to show off. This is another personal collection item that I just got in Tucson, and it's my first of this class. So I feel like it's worthy to show off.
Ooh.
So our oohs and ahs, our guys pretty much probably know what this is. Does anyone have anyone want to put their name on it and say, yes, I know what that is?
No clue.
Well, looks like a trocholite. Is that the trocholite melt?
It is NWA 8687 lunar trocholite.
Okay, straight up trocholite.
So
nice.
Let me see. Okay, one of the great things about let me get this flashlight working. Okay, one of the great things about this trocholite is it is heavily shocked. It to the point where it actually turned to glass. So you can literally see the glass in there. And even along the shock veins themselves, there's little bits of glass, but it has that huge area of just glass. But as soon as you take this away, it looks just like shocked material.
Interesting.
And then you add the light again. Let me see here. Which I immediately wanted this slice as soon as I saw all that glass in there. It's my first lunar trocholite. I gotta learn how to pronounce that. Trocholite.
Trocholite.
So, because I just been abbreviating it TROC, but I need to learn how to spell it and say it now that I own it. But this one I'm super proud of, super happy. I'm glad I waited as long as I did, because now I actually have one that's representative of what I wanted to show off, which is the glass impact.
Cool.
And that goes to exactly what Pat was saying earlier about the impact being so great and the quelching of the liquid so quickly that it doesn't form crystal structures. It literally just sheets of glass.
Right.
So that's a good example to tie in what you were mentioning earlier. All right. Opening up for show and tell if anyone has anything or any stories or anything.
I just looked on eBay, the Hot Wheels Perseverance. They're like starting at like next to nothing for bids, and they're selling for around a few dollars each now.
Oh, really?
They must have made,
Cool.
they must have made a ton of them.
Well, now we're going to drive that market up.
That's snipe. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me see here. I'm going to hit pause. I have a question for Pat Brown, because you are the expert on fluorescent, well, the expert here at least, on fluorescent minerals. I just got this amazing, unfocusable. It's like 4 grams of Norton County.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, it is not focusing whatsoever. Well, there it is. But when you hit it with the right Blu-ray or ultraviolet black light, the entire thing, more than any Norton County I've ever seen, this fluoresces. This is the most fluorescent piece I've ever seen, and I don't have the right wavelength black light to show it off.
Is it short wave or long wave?
No, it's long wave. It's 365 nanometers is the wavelength. And I was just scrambling to see if I could find the name of the mineral.
It's present in a few aubrites, and it fluoresces. And you're very fortunate if you get a piece that has a tiny little fleck or a couple flecks. This one has an entire, 40 to 50% of this thing is that mineral, and it just is bright as hell.
Cool.
Isn't it something like woodsonite? Trying to remember. Woodsonite or something like that?
Ringwood?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Is it
Ringwoodite?
Ringwoodite. Well,
yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. It might be oldhamite, which is a calcium sulfide, but I'm not positive.
But it's one of the rare meteorites that fluoresces or has fluorescent minerals in it. So Pat, if you would do me a favor and throw the wavelength in the chat, I'd greatly appreciate it. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to show off? I have something that I bought for Sabrina. Hello, Sabrina. Hopefully you're watching. I bought you one of these. I don't know which one it is, so I'm just going to show you one and see if you like it. This is Los Vientos 262. So there we go. It's an L6 Melt Breccia, and it is gorgeous.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That's nice.
Yeah, oh, I don't know why. There we go. Maybe it has beautiful melt veins running through it.
Mm-hmm.
Some really nice chondrals. But that's a beautiful piece and some nice metal in there. So it's an L6.
Mm. Nice thick piece.
Yeah, I really like this. This is 12 grams. And then someone else while I was there asked me to pick up a slice for them. And I don't remember who it was. So hopefully they will contact me and let me know it was them. But I have a larger 16-gram slice.
Wow. Oh, that's nice.
It is just as gorgeous.
Absolutely.
This has the shock veins running from the bottom. You can almost tell there was an impactor right. Let me see if I can point it out.
Yeah.
Almost an impactor from here that spreads out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's Los Vientos 262, an L6 Melt Breccia from Chile, I believe. Yep, you're from Chile.
Mm.
So those were, we talk a lot about NWAs in Africa and and the hot desert over there. And usually when I go to Tucson, I spend a lot of time with Pat Brown going through to our African friends, our Moroccans, our Mauritanians, and digging through their NWA unclassified chondrites, stony meteorites. And that's where we spend our time most of the time. This time when I went to Tucson, it was a little bit different. I just stayed basically in, the show was a lot smaller, so there was not as many people there. I focused my attention on one row of meteorite dealers. They were my friends, and literally it was a bunch of Russians and Mark Lyon. So all the Semchen, all the Zarev, which is a beautiful meteorite I'm going to show off later. Another
Kansas.
Oh yeah, the Kansas. That was amazing. A CO 3.2 that fell in 1937, and the crust is as fresh as just gorgeous. You can feel it. I didn't want to touch it, but you could feel it. It was just amazing. So a lot of my attention was on Russian stuff, the Ukrainian stuff, and not African or unclassified stuff. So it was a little bit different experience for me, but I'm really glad that I at least got down there, and I'm glad that Tucson still had a show in 2021, that there was still something, and there was some good attendance there as well.
Topher, I've got some information about Norton County.
Okay, awesome. Go for it.
So Mike Kelly writes in the chat that phosphorine-ite is the mineral that fluoresces, and specifically it's a pyroxene that has very, very, very low iron in it, and because it has such low iron, the oops, my camera moved. I'm in there someplace. Because it has such low iron, it will fluoresce, and it fluoresces a very beautiful strong yellow color.
I was gonna say, look at your shirt. That's what this thing looks like.
Yeah, it's about that.
Yeah, yeah. When of course, the Russians, they're selling it. They want to show it off. They had the right wavelength, and when I hit it with that, when I hit it with the black light, and the entire, I went through every single piece they had, and I bought one.
and this is Sergei Vasilev and Dina Sadalenko.
Yes, thank you. Sneeze, guns on tight. We're checking. Oh, we got a cute couple to check in with right now. Hey guys.
I have a junior collector here who wants to show you something. Remember what it is?
You got to read it real fast.
WA869.
So go ahead, hold it up.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
And what was cool about that piece?
Yeah.
It's oriented, right?
Cool.
It's a little oriented piece.
Oh, nice.
What's oriented?
It's got a shield shape.
That's awesome. Is that
Cool.
yours or your dad's?
Whose is that?
Daddy gave it to me.
Are you serious?
What a great dad.
Hey,
Nice.
is it for sale?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Perfect answer.
She's got a collection of like cameras all in one way.
Oh, that's awesome. Bye, sweetie.
Congrats.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much. I love sharing like that. Let me pause. I love it.
Well,
Oh,
thanks
well.
a lot. I'll never live this down.
I think it's phenomenal. Well, we had a really good hangout today. Thanks a lot for everyone for making do with no PowerPoint. You guys had a lot of conversation and a lot of show pieces. We're even seeing a nice fly on the wall piece right now. So yeah, we could keep this thing going for another hour, but we'll save it for next week. So everyone, if you would do me a favor, when you watch this on YouTube, please like this video, and then four more. and like 4 more of them. That way we can trick YouTube into loving us as much as we love everyone here. Thanks, everyone. Good night.
Right.
Good night. Have a good week, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.